In this town, not only am I hunting for drama, I am hunting for rich daddies.
They say life is what you make it. Well, I say make it full of bears, drinking bourbon, talking about Bravo. Hello.
I'm Hunter Harden.
And I'm Papa the Bear. And welcome to the Real Housebears podcast. Ooh, it's Halloween season.
Happy Halloween, ladies.
I was going to not do a podcast introduction because I don't know if y'all noticed, but somebody really famous and somebody y'all know, probably very personally now that you've been listening to our podcast, was at the end of the preview of the next episode of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. But it's Halloween, so I had to do the podcast, so we're not going to talk about any of that other stuff.
Oh, yeah, no, we're not going to. Should we turn the light back on?
Ooh, turn the light back on.
Well, you know what? We have another episode before Halloween because you all get 2 episodes this week.
Yes, so there's going to be 2 Halloween intros.
I don't know what we're going to do next week or next episode to top it.
Ooh, I'm going to do something really clever.
Yes, but thank you all for waiting a week while we took an awesome vacation.
Yes, we had an awesome vacation back to the East Coast, back to where my Papa Bear
Back to my roots.
Back to the roots.
So we started off with a weekend in Dallas for the Twisted Bear event and had a really great time in Dallas.
Yes.
Always have a really great time in Dallas.
Dallas takes care of us.
And then we spent a week in Tennessee visiting my mom, my dad, your sister.
Yeah, my sister has a farm, y'all. She moved from California to just go YouTube how to do a farm.
Like,
and
seriously.
She's got those cows from Scotland that have the hillside cows, I think.
Something like that.
They have the furry stuff in front of their eyes and stuff.
They're bangs.
Yeah, they're adorable. And then she's got a murderous pig that tries to eat you.
A rapist duck.
And I don't know if anybody knows this, but I guess on farmland, it's a common thing, but male ducks are rapists.
Yeah.
They don't care if it's a duck, a chicken, a pig.
And they don't care if they want it or not.
Yeah. And that's offensive.
Yeah, it is. They are rude, horrible creatures.
They're rude and they're selfish.
They are in bed.
It's rude and it's selfish.
But yeah, it was really cool to see it. And then what else did we do?
Then we took a drive up to the greater Cincinnati area for just one day so that we could go to Kings Island Amusement Park again.
Yes, look at my shirt.
We're both wearing our Kings Island t-shirts.
Mine is from The Bat ride. I just liked it because the imagery is so cool. It's so like Dungeons and Dragons. I never played Dungeons and Dragons, but this is very retro, 80s.
And
design.
mine is from the original wooden roller coaster when they opened in 1972, which was the year that I was born. Yeah. So we spent Kings Island's 50th birthday for my 50th birthday, which is coming up November 12th. If you want my Venmo, if you want my app, whatever, I'll take it.
We need to get his piano tuned, y'all.
Yeah, I need my piano tuned among a million other things.
If anybody wants to give him a 50th birthday present, maybe every one of our followers should just give $50.
Yeah, $50.
That's money, honey, right there. That's money.
Sure, they've all got $50 to throw to someone they don't know. Sure.
We will talk about you on air, and we will make you #HouseBears famous.
Seriously.
But yeah, the racer has a red one and a blue one, and you literally, you really race each other up and down, and one of them does win and one of them doesn't. And does it, is it random? How?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, he has the red one, which lost. I wanted the blue one, but they didn't have the blue t-shirt my size.
Yeah.
So I got The Bat.
And so now we're back home. We're catching up. We promised you all we were not going to leave you hanging. So today we have our reunion Beverly Hills Part 2 and 3 recap. And then this weekend, probably on Saturday, we have 2 episodes of Salt Lake City to catch up on.
Yeah, for all of y'all's patience, this week is going to be filled with bear.
Filled with the Housebears.
The Housebears.
And yeah, if you didn't notice at the end of last night's Salt Lake City, next week, I made at least a 2-second Bravo debut.
Well, I mean, you're on the preview alone, so that
Yeah.
means you're going to be in the whole, like, that whole scene. Like, we might even hear you talk.
I hope so.
That's a pretty amazing.
I don't know. You know, Dre, Heather's business partner, was talking about how she has filmed hours and hours and hours for this show, and she's been on it for like 3 minutes.
I know,
so.
but she's seen it. She even talked. Even this last episode, she talked.
So we'll see. But I am officially on it in some capacity, which is good to know.
And if you guys go to our YouTube channel and watch this episode of us, you will see our cute outfits that we have on.
Yes, and Spotify. You can watch a video on Spotify too.
Yeah, I always neglect to say Spotify, but we look super cute.
We do look totally cute.
I'm a kitty.
I really like kitty cat or crazy cat lady.
So we have 2 episodes of reunions to get into. So let's get into reunion part 2.
Let's end this finale of Beverly Hills. We're gonna end it today.
We are
We're
gonna
gonna end
end it.
them.
Oh no. No, we can't end
It's
them.
Halloween.
You know, I feel like this reunion was excellent. All 3 parts I felt were excellent. I didn't get bored. I didn't feel like anything was too repetitious. I thought there was something. We were both frantically taking notes through every episode.
Yeah.
A lot really went on. There was a lot to follow up on. Starting off with Garcelle versus Diana, finishing off that Garcelle and her son Jax getting bullied on social media, and Garcelle thinking it's Diana because of all of the social media hate that Diana has put towards Garcelle. But I have a question. Is calling someone evil worse than calling them the C word?
I think in the context, I think it depends. Because if you're just like with your friend, you're like, ah, you're such a stupid but if you're like with somebody, you're like, you're just downright evil. Like if you're serious about it, evil's worse than the C word. But if you're like mad at somebody calling them a C word, I don't know.
I don't think that I've ever called someone evil and like really meant it.
I don't think anybody really has, but like I need to stop saying the
yeah,
word.
you do, because I've got a lot of editing to do.
I'm sorry.
But I was surprised. I would be more offended by the C word. But
Okay.
again, the C word is normally reserved for, identifying females.
I want you to remember what Lisa Rinna says here.
What did she say?
She says, I don't think evil's a bad thing to say, or I don't think the C word's a bad thing to say because I call myself the C word all the time. Ha ha ha. So she says the evil is a harsh, bad word. Just remember that.
I think they all use it just at this moment. I'm on someone's side, so I'm going to say the word that makes them look best. Mm-hmm. Anyway, it surprised me. I really liked the moment when Andy asked Sutton if she had anything to clear up with Diana, and Sutton's like, nope, we're pretty clear on our non-relationship.
That's good. Yeah, like it's not going to happen.
It was beautifully cold.
Yeah.
I thought it was really well done. But Sutton had a non-friendship with Erica earlier in the season. Remember when they were going on the snowmobiles and she was talking about her non-friendship with Erica?
But they at least had, she did say that and stuff, but at least her and Erica had some sweet moments. I
Yeah.
don't think her and Diana ever had any sweet
and
moments.
I don't think that Sutton even cares.
I mean, you know who else doesn't care? Is Diana. She didn't care that Sutton had anything to say, and she goes right back into how hurt she is that Garcelle would say that. And
Did you know that you could apply a lawsuit
to a John Doe.
to a no one?
Well, I figure I'm like that. How else do you sue or start this legal process of getting somebody that's harassing
Who's
you
going to
on?
investigate?
Yeah, who's going to investigate it and stuff?
I guess without hiring a private investigator, there's really no other way. I'm so glad we just talked through that.
You're welcome.
Why didn't we talk through that earlier?
I do like that Diana says her privilege is money and that she can afford lawyers and stuff, and she could probably help keep this from happening to others. Like, because I don't think Diana had anything to do with this.
No, I have believed Diana all season long when she said she was charitable. I believe her.
Yeah.
I do believe that she's charitable. So I'm glad that she's doing that. But Garcelle was just like, good for her.
Yeah.
Garcelle's like, I'm unaffected by her at this point. But Andy asked Garcelle, what has Diana said about you on social media? And Garcelle's just like, you know what? I'm not going to give Diana any more screen time.
I'm done. Bye.
Yeah.
Turn off the TV, please.
Yeah, and then that's the end of Diana.
Bye.
I mean, she was on the reunion for just a few minutes. Do you think she'll be back next season?
No.
I will be really surprised if she is.
I don't think she's going to be.
But you know what? I really do want to see her wealth, and I do want to see her lifestyle, and I would be okay if she came back as long as she didn't constantly call in sick, and as long as she was really and as long as she was really in it, I would be interested in see what she really has to bring. This season, she was sick. This season, she was healing from a miscarriage. This season, it's hard to be new anyway. Mm-hmm. So I would be willing, and I was talking to my friend Leslie a few weeks ago, and she was like, hear me out. And I was like, you know what? You're right.
I haven't even scratched the surface.
You're right. She really does have that lifestyle that we all, aspire to.
Yeah.
So I was into it. I'm into it. They break for lunch. Rinna and Erica feel that Garcelle saying they could possibly have something to do with the Jack situation was an intentional division of the group. Mm-hmm. Garcelle is intentionally trying to divide the group by saying that Rinna and Erica could have possibly had something to do with it. And then Sutton is in her Wayland socks in Garcelle's room. And Garcelle's like, listen, I'm going to get to the bottom of this Jack stuff. No matter what.
If I hurt the lady's feelings on the way there, so be it.
Done.
Yeah.
The Crystal stuff with Sutton being possibly racist is still very unclear. Even Garcelle is like, I don't understand it.
Yeah, but they also say how damaging it is to say that somebody's racist.
Yeah.
When they weren't being racist. That was almost kind of like reverse racism.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, I know we'll talk about it more, but I think what Crystal is not getting from the ladies is it's okay if you felt a certain way, but you use specific words to imply very strongly that Sutton was making racist comments and that Sutton was saying things that could damage relationships.
Yeah. And didn't correct anybody when they said racist stuff. She didn't correct anybody.
So I'm sure that'll come back up again, but I'm kind of tired of talking about it. Kyle and Dorit are also talking about Crystal kind of being caught in an untruth because Crystal's stories just keep changing.
Keep changing in the way she wanted to feel or express. She keeps contradicting herself.
Yeah. They keep giving Kyle these little 1-minute scenes after commercial break. Like in the first episode, we found out that she got a breast reduction. Now we find out about her tattoos, completely unrelated to anything else going on in the reunion.
I love that all of her daughters were born on the 18th because I was born on the 18th.
You were.
I was. March 18th is my birthday.
But March 18th does not exist yet because we have not yet had November 12th. Thank you.
Dang it. I really was going to try to get away with it, too.
So we get into Kyle's package.
What's wrong with being Kyle?
Farrah doesn't want an over-the-top wedding, but Kyle's like, listen, if y'all saw Portia's bar mitzvah, it's got to at least be that big.
Something.
But Farrah's like, I don't care. But, Farrah now got that Netflix money.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because Mauricio and his Farrah and I think another daughter are all working and filming that Netflix show now.
All those daughters.
I kind of want to watch it.
No.
I do kind of want to watch it.
No, you won't.
Oh, yes.
Not in this household.
And then we talk about the Kyle, Mauricio, Dorit, PK orgy.
PK and Mauricio are into each other. They've at least jacked off in front of each other. Hey, come on.
I don't know if I think that, but they totally
kids are doing that these days.
Well, they're not kids.
Yeah, they're adults. They could do it in their own car.
But we did talk about it several weeks ago that it was on social media that especially Dorit and Mauricio were having a thing.
No.
But I'm glad Kyle cleared it up. It was from that one scene right after they got mugged,
of her being emotional and emotionally distraught, etc. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
people.
heaven forbid she kissed her friend on the back.
When he said something really nice about them and her husband.
Seriously.
Either way, I would be a little bit, I'd be nervous to read. PK might steal Mauricio and likewise.
Well, I don't want to see that, to be honest with you. But anyhow, then we get into Garcelle's package.
Mazel, Garcelle.
She did end up buying the $13,000 Birkin, and she's still, really uncomfortable with it. She's like, I just let it sit there for a few days and pretend like I didn't buy it.
Yeah.
And then I put it in the closet.
And then if I really liked it, then okay, then I really got it.
But they did show this season a picture of her at, a book signing or something carrying her Birkin.
That yellow one.
Yeah, you got to use that girl. Every single one of them owns a Birkin except for Erica.
You know what?
Not my thing.
I found out that I do really appreciate Garcelle's spending
Being frugal.
habits. Yeah, being frugal and stuff. Like, instead of her, like, you know, she just got a new second home. Normally, I'm extremely jealous and spiteful and upset, but I'm genuinely happy for her.
Yeah. She really is smart about it and doesn't take it for granted.
Yeah, she doesn't take it for granted. She's very appreciative of it.
Even though she felt like how many $100 was it per pair of shoes for her kids was reasonable, like $250.
It was like $2,500.
But I guess
for like
to
two
them
shoes.
that is pretty to rich people with that amount of wealth. I guess that is
My
reasonable.
kid, if I had kids and I was still rich, I'd be like, no, sorry, I'm not. I don't care if you go to LA schools.
I don't know.
You're going to Penniless, just like I did.
I wouldn't do that to my kids if I had the money.
Oh yeah, I would.
I don't want them to feel like I did.
We're going to the secondhand store, and you're going to pick out shoes somebody else has already worn
In Hollywood.
in Hollywood. See, they're not that badly
You
worn.
can make them in Vogue.
Word. You could retro. Hey,
Vintage,
you're going to wear all of
yes.
my old clothes.
It's vintage. Garcelle's book. We find out that there's a story in the book that when she was cast on The Cosby Show, Bill Cosby called her management to get her contact and invited over to his house to work on her acting. And then he served her some Sambuca. She felt very alarmed by it all and rushed out of the house at only 18 years old.
I'm asking this for any of the followers that may not know what this is. What is Sambuca?
It's that liquor. It's like a liqueur that is, I think it's black licorice flavored.
Yeah. Oh.
It's an Italian. I actually like it, but I like black licorice. Don't judge me. It's okay. It's okay that I like black licorice.
For some reason, people like black licorice is such like an old man thing.
Well, because it is
older men, like whenever I had licorice, they're like, oh yeah, I'll eat the black licorice. It's good. I'm like, you're such a dad.
Yeah. I like the black jelly beans.
I can't do black licorice, and when I finally do, that means I will be old.
Well, clearly neither can Garcelle. She was like, this is enough. This is enough. But that is terrifying. That's terrifying because, Bill Cosby, The Cosby Show was one of the biggest TV sitcoms in history.
And to be honest with you, I don't know if I would have caught that so early. I would have been more starstruck than anything else. And, I probably would have succumbed to it. Not because I'm a whore, but it's just because I was so naive at 19. And when you're put into the spotlight like that, it's Cosby, like Bill Cosby. It's pretty, it was easy, it seems. But I'm glad that Garcelle got out. Like, that's terrifying.
Terrifying.
That is and then to find out years later that it was happening to all these other women, like, trust your gut. Like, that is such a smart thing. Like, that almost helped kept me from getting killed. I got on the other side of the road from this truck that did a U-turn, and it just gave me a weird feeling. He tried to pick me up in the middle of the night, and I said no, I was meeting my friends, and blah, blah, blah. And then he sped off the other direction, and I still to this day have no idea what could have happened to me that night. But in my gut, I had just a weird feeling, and I was like on autopilot. Like, my body did everything, but my mind really wasn't figuring out what I was doing yet.
Right,
but I got out of the way.
Instinctually.
Yeah, so good on you, Garcelle, because that is some scary, terrifying stuff.
I've been saying it all along. I know I'm right.
And to, like, I don't know, it was Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby was the biggest thing, especially for the black community.
Yeah.
And I'm good on her for not letting that happen. That's
right.
I don't know why I keep talking about it. Let's move on.
Well, Andy asked Erica about throwing Garcelle's book in the trash because she put it on her IG. But as we reported earlier this season, it was actually Rena's video throwing the book on some unrecycled materials. But Erica took the heat for it. Rena put the video in a group chat that did not include Garcelle, which I think all of the housewives have group chats that don't include certain members. I think that's pretty common.
Yeah.
So that really wasn't the shade part of it. But Lisa was mad that Amelia was even mentioned in the book, which Garcelle wasn't talking about Amelia. She was talking about a moment that she had a conversation with Lisa Rinna about Amelia.
But still.
I think all she did say, though, was say, I didn't read it, but I think it was really like, I was talking to Lisa Rinna about Amelia's eating disorder.
And how her Instagram may have affected her eating disorder.
Yeah, but she was talking about a moment that happened on television.
Yeah.
I don't feel like she was saying anything bad about Amelia. But again, I didn't read it.
But you could
anyhow.
But still, I think she could have used that in a more of a water range of like, one of my friends and asking one of her daughters was going through the same thing, and I asked her, didn't use names or something, or didn't even use her daughter's name. I don't know.
But anyway, we didn't read it, so what do we have? We have 2 cents to throw.
But that's what's going on with Britney's Instagram account right now. People are judging her parenting capabilities because of what she's been posting on her Instagram. And if any of y'all haven't seen her Instagram, go take a look, because she is not that girl that you guys thought she was. She loves her body.
Yeah,
she's letting everybody know.
Well, Rena's lawyer contacted Garcelle's manager, and they had to come up with another edition of the book.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone in the group chat received the video, but Erica was the one that posted it. And just keep imagining keeping all of those chats straight. Imagine
oh my gosh,
not sending the wrong thing to the wrong group chat.
Yeah. Accidentally sending it to somebody that you're talking about.
That would, I would have to opt out. I'm like, sorry, guys. But Erica was responding to Garcelle posting Erica, you can make yourself look bad. And Erica's like, well, here you go. But people were really mostly mad about the lack of recycling.
Like, what the? That is the most LA thing LA could have ever LA.
Right.
Like, that is such an LA thing. Everyone's pissed off about the recycling.
I mean, we recycle, but like, uh-oh.
Oh no, my
ears fell off.
My ears fell off. Hold on, I need to attach them back on.
Even Vanderpump got in on it, and then we find out that Oliver got his job with Lisa Vanderpump just because Garcelle was like, "Hey girl, my son needs a job." Okay, he's got a job, and there it is.
He's got a job.
That was my British accent. Did you like my British accent?
Yeah, that was pretty good, but you need to leave it to me.
But Garcelle has been filming with Vanderpump.
What does that mean?
It could mean that Vanderpump's going to be making a scene or be on the scene next season.
Gaston.
That would be so exciting.
Yeah, I like Lisa
that
Vanderpump.
Would be so exciting.
I do love that Lisa blames the recycling on Harry Hamlin, so she doesn't have to look bad in any kind of form, way, or fashion.
And we all know that Harry Hamlin is a god, so we're not going to hate him.
Yeah.
It was an innocent mistake, Harry Hamlin.
Yeah, Harry Hamlin.
Into Rinna's package, we talk about Lois. That must have been really, really hard to watch for Lisa. We talk about Lisa versus Sutton. And here is where I believe you had a revelation about Lisa versus Kathy Hilton and Lisa versus Sutton.
Yes. I'm looking up.
It was the evil comment.
Okay, so, keep talking.
Put me on pause.
Well, we were talking earlier about evil being worse than the C word.
Yes, okay.
And you said, I have something later about the word evil to do with Lisa Rinna.
I know, I don't see it in my notes.
But isn't it something about Lisa Rinna called Sutton evil?
Okay, no, it wasn't the whole evil thing. So, in one of the flashes of Lisa being horrible, one of the things is Lisa screaming at Sutton at the top of her lungs how she will take her down. So what is different is her screaming at a stranger, she will take her down on camera, than Kathy Hilton venting off of camera to a friend that she will take her own sister down.
Right.
Where's the difference there? Okay, so why is that so horrible, but what you do, Lisa, is not horrible? And later on, Lisa says that she believes that she is evil and that Kathy is evil. And earlier in the episode, she says evil isn't that much of a big deal to say, but she says that Kathy Hilton's evil.
Yeah, and then she tells both Sutton that she's going to take her down.
That she's going to take Sutton
down.
Well,
I don't think anyone's confused. Lisa Rinna's a hypocrite.
Huge hypocrite.
Yeah.
So why is she attacking Kathy Hilton so hard? Because her contract's up, and 2, she's a bully.
Oh, it's coming back up.
She's a huge bully.
Up. But Lisa, at this moment, does kind of like give a blanket apology for all of her actions. But I do understand when she talked about, I didn't get to have any closure because we couldn't have our ceremony where we laid Lois to rest until several months later. And I know my mom had a similar experience. Her husband died during COVID, and she had to wait like 8 or 9 months before people could travel again and all of these different things. And there was a noticeable difference in my mom before that ceremony and after that ceremony.
And also, also after her apology, she also finishes it up with, like, I'm working on myself. I'm a work in progress, so just be patient. And it's like, if you're a work in progress, how come you're continuously doing the same pattern every time? That's not working on yourself.
That's not progress.
That's not progress at all.
That's not progress at all.
And to be honest with you, I hate saying this out loud, but she used her mom's death as an excuse to be extra nasty.
Well, the audience question asked that.
Yeah.
But she's like, you can't really use your mom as an excuse because you were horrible to Vanderpump, you were horrible to Kim Richards, you were horrible to all these other people. Again, no progress.
And Denise Richards, Lisa Vanderpump, and Kim Richards.
Yeah.
She showed the exact same pattern with every single one of those. That's just who she is.
Yeah.
Don't blame it on your mom's death of why you're such a horrible human. You did that twice in this season.
Yeah. She's been doing it for years. It's season after season.
Just go away, Lisa.
Then we get into Sutton's package. She feels horrible about the comment about, well, I didn't have a gun put to my head today.
That's the worst thing I've ever said in my life.
Yeah, and honestly, this apology that she gives Dorit about how heartbroken she is that she said that is the cleanest apology I've ever seen. I was wrong. I did this. I feel horrible. I apologize.
No excuses.
Ifs, ands, or buts.
Yes.
And Dorit's like, well, now that I know that's how you feel, I can accept this and I feel better about it.
Just
boom.
Done. Owning up to we all do things we regret.
Yes.
We just have to own up to it. Mm-hmm. And we just have to, again, make progress. We talk about how Kyle is very handsy with Sutton when Kyle was offended by Brandi Glanville's physicality. And I do feel like Kyle was more aggressive than she realized. Mm-hmm. Kyle wasn't sober. She really wanted to get Sutton's attention. She really wanted to try to mediate here. But I don't think she realized how forceful she was. But she was. Mm-hmm. It doesn't make it right that she didn't realize it. Yeah. She was. And then I felt kind of upset myself when everyone was like, was Sutton trying to relate to Diana's miscarriages or was she trying to make it about herself? And Dorit thought she was trying to make it about herself.
I don't know what Dorit's doing. I told you she's hanging out with the wrong crowd.
She is. But I was surprised by that. I was really, really surprised that. But Kyle finally does end up defending Sutton in the end. Finally.
I think that's a very dramatic statement.
Is it fair for Garcelle to say that sometimes Sutton does make things about herself? Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Sometimes I make things about myself. Sometimes you make things about yourself. Maybe at least once a day. I'm kidding.
You better take that all back.
I'm totally kidding. But you know what? I don't think even Sutton can disagree with that. Sutton's like, okay. Yeah. But friends should be able to be honest. Just like Heather Gay telling Meredith, you're condescending,
Yeah.
But how is Sutton a liability? Because it seems that Erica is more like a liability to Rinna than Sutton is to Garcelle.
Mm-hmm.
But Sutton talking about the lack of a thank you at the Elton John Gala, I just thought that was really beautiful. But how does everyone not realize it was a reference to Harry's sauce?
Yeah, I thought it was a reference to Harry's sauce.
I thought it was mostly a joke when Sutton said it on Watch What Happens Live.
And how come Sutton can't make jabs at housewives, but every other housewife in history is allowed to?
Yeah.
It's just bullying. That's all it is.
But we all should have already known. It was just like a commentary about Rinna saying that Garcelle didn't give a thank you about the sauce.
It wasn't an attack on family and stuff. It was just ridiculous.
Why does Rinna hate Sutton so much?
She doesn't hate anybody. I don't have room in my heart to hate people.
But Sutton's like, let me remind you that you were brutal to me all season long, even after filming. You came after me on IG, and Rinna doesn't even have an explanation.
And even Andy's like, you realize she and her alone was your punching bag.
Right.
Well, yeah, she pisses me off sometimes.
And then Sutton says, I don't consider you a friend. But if I remember correctly, Sutton got on the show as Lisa Rinna's friend. Like, that was her subtitle when she got on the show. I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure that was Sutton's connection was Rinna. And now Sutton's like, I don't consider you a friend. How could I?
Yeah.
And I agree with you there. I would have a hard time after all that. I would have a hard time ever being a friend again. Mm-hmm. The Scorpio in me would be like, no, thank you.
Shut out.
We're done. Goodbye. But Sutton was a really good friend during like Lois's hospice stay and everything. Mm-hmm. But Sutton was just a dead horse turned into glue.
For the entire school district of LA.
And Dory's like, what? Horses, glue?
Horses?
Huh?
I don't understand that reference.
Dorit is a stupid, useless idiot.
That was a good accent.
Thank you.
What about Rinna's social media?
Okay, so I do want to say something about this because I do a lot of our Instagram social media, and halfway through the season, out of nowhere, I couldn't tag Lisa Rinna anymore. And I was like, ooh, did she block us? Because I was like, that'd be kind of epic if she blocked us. No, she didn't block us, but she did relieve herself from being tagged in any posts halfway through filming, halfway through our season of Real Housewives Bears of Beverly Hills. Thank you. Jesus, criminy Christmas.
Well, this is what we get for not doing our podcast in the evening after cocktails.
And I'm not drunk or anything, so like, I'm nothing to blame it on.
But we talk about what we already know. Rinna's an impulsive person.
Bitch.
1 minute she's posting, I'm never going to post about the Housewives again. And the next minute she's like, did you hear what happened on the Housewives? So if we fight with Garcelle, we're known as racist. And Garcelle's like, sometimes you have to understand. I mean, that's kind of what microaggressions are. You're saying things that you don't understand are perceived differently when you say it about a person of color. You can say the same exact thing about two different people, but if one person is like, you know, a white male and the other person is a person of color in general, it can mean something completely different because of their history, because of stereotypes, things like that.
I mean, just being gay alone, you realize how disregarded you are from society and how different you are, and other gay people can identify with that because they went through that same trauma. But none of my straight friends ever had to go through that. They never had to fear of them being caught, fear of just their natural emotions, hating themselves every day, faking a life, not ever having a relationship in their teens because they're so scared of ever coming out, and they fake relationships with girls and stuff. Straight people just don't understand that daily life. So I'm not going to even try to think that I can understand what it's like to be a different color of skin.
Yeah,
I can't. I can't identify
is so much
that.
even longer.
Yeah,
you
I
know?
can't identify with that. So I'm not going to argue with somebody if they say that that's racist towards them. You learn. That's how the world is made. Is change.
Right.
And you grow. You educate. That's why we don't walk around pooping while we walk, and we don't burn witches at the stake for creating a good pie. Like, it's just ridiculous how people will not grow with society.
Seriously. But Crystal, like, oh, here's an opportunity for me to try to prove my point again.
I can't. Crystal, you are beating that dead horse that's called Sutton to even more death. Like, its hooves are cut off for glue. It's dead. Stop beating that horse.
Seriously.
Because you are wrong. I'm sorry.
Yeah, again, it's okay that Crystal felt that way. And no one is denying that, but it's completely wrong how she expressed it.
And if she's so concerned about feelings, how she made all of those women feel like Sutton was a racist, horrible human.
Right.
And she let that happen. Crystal, I'm done with you.
I felt good, though, that when when Dorit asked Crystal and Garcelle if they believe anyone on the cast is racist, that they didn't think anyone was racist. I was glad that was cleared up.
Yes.
I was glad, and because I think Garcelle and Crystal would be a good, measure of people who are racist around them, and they would be honest about it. So it also made me feel good, like, okay, no one is really racist. That's good. But we all have a lot to learn.
But this is Erica, man. Sometimes she will say some like seriously clear stuff to make you really think of exactly how things are feeling or around you. And she says
some good nuggets.
She says the changes are subtle, but the consequences are big.
Yeah.
And that's really what society is right now. Like, things are moving slowly, but those consequences have been very extreme in the past.
Right.
And even right now. So people need to learn from history and step up.
Absolutely.
And be a human.
Well, we need to step out
or there's going to be some consequences. Big consequences.
Right, because Kathy Hilton is on the way.
Oh, shoot.
The women are psyching themselves up for it. So let's go psych ourselves up for it.
All right, let's do it.
Bye.
Bye.
I'm drinking something.
We'd like to give a shout out to our sponsor, Anchor by Spotify.
If you haven't heard about Anchor by Spotify, let me give you a rundown. Basically, it's the easiest way to make a podcast with everything you need all in one place. Here's how it works.
Anchor lets you record and edit podcasts right from your phone or your computer, so no matter what your setup is like, you can start creating today.
Then you can distribute your podcast to the most popular listening platforms, including Spotify, with a single tap. Anchor is also the only place you could publish video podcasts to Spotify directly.
With Anchor, creators can earn money in a variety of ways, including ads and podcast subscriptions.
And best of all, Anchor is totally free.
Download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
Today. Boo! I hope I scared somebody with that.
You scared me.
I really hope I didn't cause anybody to swerve into traffic if you're driving. But tis the season.
Tis the season. Tis the season of girls looking for good D.
Erica's getting that D. She's getting good D.
I love that they start off the whole part 3 reunion talking about girls looking for good D, which of course immediately leads into Erica's package.
Yes. I mean, if anybody's getting anything, it's Erica.
Listen, she has a team. She has a roster of suitors.
Like, yeah, if one of them's out of town, boom, you got to go for the other one. If you're not really looking for like a blonde-haired guy, you're gonna go for that
Maybe
brunette or
you
something.
want someone with a different shape, a different size, different intensity.
Yeah, I need an average run. I'll just call Jim.
I'm not looking for something too terribly difficult tonight. Oh, gosh. I completely forgot that Wasted Erica was the beginning of this season. It was just so long ago.
It felt so long ago.
Like Pee on the New Girl. That was so long ago.
I really like that Erica, to be honest with you. And now that I know that she has been just going through it, her whole life has changed, plus having to do all this, that she just wants to forget everything
numbing it
and
all.
let loose. Now that I know that, I'm like, girl, get drunk, pee on people.
But she's like, I don't recognize that girl.
Yeah.
I don't recognize. She's not like staying wasted all the time now.
No.
She's like, I just had to get out of control for a little bit.
Yeah. And it didn't get out of hand.
Now, Garcelle was really awakened to Erica's problem when the Jax thing happened at the party.
Yes. When it aired, finally.
But she didn't realize how big it was until she saw it
Until she saw it
on
actually
TV.
air.
And Andy calls out Kyle and Dorit for laughing about it. But again, only Dorit had actually seen it in person. Mm-hmm. So Kyle and Mauricio kind of joking about it. They didn't realize.
They didn't understand the capacity of it.
And I think that Erica doesn't even realize the tone that she made when she was using.
I knew what joke was in her head.
Yes.
But to somebody that didn't know what was going on and just stumbled upon that, they don't have any context.
Exactly. I knew that she thought she was just being funny.
I knew too. Yeah, when you're that drunk and just being stupid, you just start cussing and be vulgar out of nowhere.
But if that was my kid,
yeah, I would be upset.
I would be livid.
I'd be very upset.
If I'd had contention with Erica in the past, I would be pretty upset about it too.
That's rich coming from you, whose breath smells of garlic, Chardonnay, and cigarettes.
Did Erica ever go and apologize to him, like, after she was drunk?
You know what? I don't remember.
Because that's all I would request for. I'd be like, can you please come over to my house tomorrow while he's home? And can you please just give him an apology and explain to him what was going on?
I feel like Erica said on the show when Garcelle talked to her about it that she would deliver a personal apology. Okay. I could have made that up. It
may have happened.
I could have made that up.
I just don't remember. It was just so long ago.
Been a bit ago.
Kamasabi.
homicide, whatever.
Erica has been cleared in a pretty significant fraud lawsuit where they're like,
it's a big win.
Erica didn't know what was going on, and she did not participate in any way. Mm-hmm. So that was really good.
For legal reasons.
After, though, Tom was ordered to pay $1.3 million to victims, Erica was like...
Plus interest.
Erica's like, they're not my victims, which is true.
It's true.
But it's all about tone, Erica.
Erica, just say, I'm glad that those victims are getting money from who hurt them. That's all you have to say. Like, you're not even accepting responsibility or nothing. I just don't get it. She
but what
can't
I did
understand.
like, I did like that, first of all, she said she's actually ashamed of her behavior this season.
Okay.
And I did like the airplane analogy. It made a lot more sense than I don't care about anyone but myself. Mm-hmm. Her saying, listen, when you're in an emergency situation, you put your air mask on first, then help those around you. I'm just in the putting my air mask on first stage of this trauma right now.
Ooh, yeah, that is a really good analogy.
Yeah. Analogies work in Beverly Hills sometimes, not on Jersey. Not on Jersey.
East Coast is a totally
different situation. So it made me not as angry at Erica and understand her thought process a little bit better, even though, again, her tone is horrible. And it makes, even Andy's like, it's not Landon, sister. Erica is clearly her own worst enemy, and Kyle jumps in right away. Absolutely she is. Absolutely. But Erica's like, listen, I'm not backing down. I wasn't out of control. I was just mad. You're just taking my words too seriously. You know, I kind of is where she's going. But what about the earrings?
Well, they did take them for a reason.
Oh, but they are on appeal.
So is she getting them back?
Well, it's on appeal.
So you're trying to get them back?
It's on appeal for legal reasons.
We're saying the same thing.
No, we're not, but we are, but we're not.
Yay, we did that really good without even practicing.
We're on appeal. For legal reasons.
Okay, well, that means you're in court trying to get them back.
We're on appeal. For legal reasons.
Okay. We're saying the same thing.
We're not, but
okay.
We are.
Okay.
Yeah. We're on appeal.
But thank God Erica is working on herself in therapy. None of the women would have kept the earrings themselves.
Would you have kept the earrings?
No.
Like the bad history behind them and just... how about this? What if she was cleared of all things and the government still wanted them back? I would say, is the money that is coming from these earrings going to go to the victims themselves?
Right. Listen, something that wants to protect myself, including financially, when all this is said and done, would make me want to keep the earrings just for the money.
But that's not the only expensive thing she owns.
But once I found out, how many victims were affected, how much money has been lost, and what their quality of life is now, I would certainly hand them over and be like,
if anything,
let's get them some money.
Let's just get this process moving.
I mean,
I don't want anything to do with this anymore.
I mean, she said those earrings are now worth over $1 million.
$1.3 million.
So that $1.3 million that Tom was required to pay, there it is in one fell swoop.
But maybe she also is like, I don't want to help him pay off his debt.
Yeah.
But I'm like, that debt that he acquired probably was given to you in some form or fashion.
The bottom line is, if you can help, you should.
Yeah, because your entire life...
Diana helped.
Yeah, your entire life was built from him and his wealth. So that's the only reason why I would go and give it back.
I also thought she had a really good moment when she was asked about, does she mourn her lack of lifestyle? And she's like, listen, I've never complained once that I've lost money. You haven't heard me whine. You haven't heard me cry about being poor. I've got money. I'm doing okay, and I'll be getting even better. I was like, you know what? She hasn't.
She does talk a lot about what she used to have, but she's never whining about it.
Even Garcelle gave her
She just talks about it.
Yeah, Garcelle was like, that's true. Yeah. I was like, well, if Garcelle's going to give the seal of approval.
Word.
Kathy's getting ready. She is getting her Barbie chic together, which Paris Hilton invented, according to Kathy. Kathy gave Paris Barbie-themed parties every year until she was 35. What? Don't we give up Barbie-themed parties after a time?
Well, I just stopped doing Scooby-Doo parties after my 35th.
I don't know if I believe that. But when Kathy joins, everyone is nervous as heck. Like, Kyle is practically hyperventilating.
I'm nervous too. And she sits right next to Kyle, and I'm just like, I've seen clips and stuff, so I think I know what's going on. And like you said, it was going to be like the last 5 minutes of the show. But I was nervous.
Yeah.
Very, very nervous.
Well, Kathy doesn't take more than just like a minute to immediately start throwing shade at Rinna.
Yes.
Yeah, I posted it, but then just like Lisa Rinna does, I deleted it within 20 minutes. oh, she's ready.
Get it.
She's got her guns out. But while they show Kathy's like video montage, I don't know if you noticed, but when they have like the little corner videos of the other ladies on the couch, when it shows Kyle, she literally is sitting there going... terrifying.
Just hyperventilating.
Kyle's a wreck.
Kathy's tequila.
So, Kathy does admit that she didn't realize how many times her tequila was put on the screen because she never got a definite boom, boom, cameras there, boom, the camera's here.
Right, it was
she
like
was
her
always
coming
background.
into a room and greeting someone.
It was
or
always
something
background
like
kind of stuff. So that was the start of her brain kind of dwindling of why she had this blow up at the end. But she honestly, how else do all these other women get their products out there? They host a party.
Right.
Erica's hair. She hosted a little party for them and the thing.
Rinna
It wasn't even a big party. Rinna Beauty. She did that earlier on the season.
I mean, the list can go on and on.
Have a tequila party, Kathy.
Yeah, have a tequila. Like, how come she didn't have a party for herself if she wanted it to be on the show so bad?
Well, I think that she stays a friend of, so she doesn't have to do all the work. Like hosting a party. Well,
Okay.
she's hosted parties at her house.
I mean, I'm sure she loves it.
Anyway, she doesn't do it herself.
Anyway, she put too much heart into it without realizing what she was doing, I guess.
So the situation at Chemo Sabi. Kathy originally saw her tequila there, so thought, oh, how sweet, Kyle has arranged a tasting. And then after Rinna ordered the Jenner tequila, Kathy got disappointed in Kyle for not actually having the tequila tasting.
And here, this is where Kyle, later on, when she's like, it's always my fault and I never know why. Why do you keep putting all these responsibilities on me? And then I'm at the fault for them because I'm not doing them when I don't even know about them.
But what Kyle didn't hear, though, was Kathy saying, listen, I put this thought in my head, I overthought it, and then I got upset. And I was wrong for that.
Yeah.
But Kyle didn't hear that part. She only heard the part that she was blamed for.
Yep.
That's such sibling behavior.
Yes.
Very much sibling behavior. Well, most relationships, anyhow. So Kyle didn't really hear what Kathy was trying to say, which is really upsetting Kathy even more. And then we talk about what happened up at the club.
It's so stupid. I love it. I love it when your cul-de-sac comes out. That super white suburban cul-de-sac comes out.
It was tough.
Tough in the club.
I want to dance. I want to have all my friends there. You know what I mean?
I don't know. It's, I wish that you could do your 90s dance right now, but we'll have to save that for another video.
Yeah.
But you do that 90s thing so good, like, I can't handle it. But you're just a big white guy.
Let's try to remember to make a video and post it after this episode airs, okay?
Okay.
We'll try. So up at the club, what happened? DJ ignored Kathy.
She wanted Michael Jackson.
Yes. So she went to the manager. She's like, hey, can I offer some money so that you'll play some music that we want to dance to?
And that manager's like, no, thank you, sir, please, no, ma'am, we don't do that here.
Right, it was probably a professional DJ.
Yeah, and you're probably going to play some, like, stupid music, so I don't want to do that to the DJ.
Right, professional DJs, they play their own sets.
Kathy Hilton, where are you from?
What?
Say L.A.
Beverly Hills.
You should probably go back there. I was the DJ.
Yes, you were.
That's what he said to her.
Well, fine, I'm out of here.
You suck at this. Random.
I know, reading your mind. I know.
You should know what I'm thinking.
I did good earlier.
You did so good earlier.
Listen, I can't win them all.
Well, you know what? Whatever.
Can't believe I have to be around these peons. They need to go away.
Well, Andy asked the rest of the group what they saw. And then Erica says that Kathy came up to her, called the DJ the F word.
Yeah, did she say...
A gay slur.
Did she say the...
It's all over the news and social media.
F-A-G word?
Yes.
And I'm sorry to say, but I can kind of see her saying that.
Listen, I believe that Kathy Hilton had a meltdown and said a whole bunch of awful things that she doesn't really mean. Mm-hmm. I even use, there's no excuse for using inappropriate language like that. Mm. But if we, the whole overall thing is, I believe a little bit of Rinna, I believe a little bit of Kathy. I believe that Rinna is exaggerating it greatly. I believe that Rinna is making up comments that Kathy could have said. Mm-hmm. But I do believe that Kathy said some horrible things and completely acted out.
Yes, I totally see that.
Kathy could have potentially even got mad and said and called him a homophobic slur. Mm-hmm. We'd have to talk about it.
Yeah,
we'd certainly have to talk about it, but we could come to an understanding and likely forgiveness.
I would love to see me and you both go up to Kathy and be like, "Did you say the F word? What's up with that? Huh? What's up with that?" And just start bumping her between each other. Like,
no,
what's up with that? What's up with that? What's up with that?
No. Well, there was an HR investigation and it came up inconclusive. Kyle then digs into Erica. She's like, "You're a fraud. You're walking around in other people's clothes, wearing jewelry that isn't yours." And I think part of it, she was insinuating like money that should have gone to other people type, like the earrings as well. Mm-hmm. But after leaving the club, then that's when the meltdown really began with Rinna and the Sprinter van.
That's where Lisa was really abused.
She was abused.
It was such vile stuff happened to her.
But remember when I asked, I was like, how much was Lisa Rinna like stirring that fire? How much was she like agging on? And Kathy confirmed, she's like, preaching to the choir, sister. I think they're horrible people too. I do think that Doritas, whatever.
I get it. When she was saying that, I was like, I could totally hear Lisa Rinna's voice.
Yeah. And Kathy admits, I was venting to a friend who I thought was a friend.
Off camera,
I knew the cameras
off
weren't
mic.
on.
Hello.
Yeah.
All these other housewives are either on camera or mic'd when they have their meltdown. Look at Lisa Barlow right now. She was actually mic'd, said horrible things. It just happens. These women are under a lot of stress, y'all.
And do you think that when Kathy was like, well, I don't have that text, do you think that she just deleted it off of her phone?
Yeah, and thinks that it probably deleted off of hers.
Off of
100%, yeah. I feel like that.
I don't have it.
It's not on my phone, but I guarantee you if Lisa pulled it up, it's on her phone. And you can't fake that.
No, you can't.
Unless you can't fake that.
Well, Kyle interjects. She's like, y'all don't understand that no matter what happened, it getting out into the press just made my life worse with my sister and made our relationship more difficult. And Rinna's like, but there were like 200 people in the club. I got a call the next morning from TMZ. Mm-hmm. It could have been from anyone. But we did see that video of Erica's publisher snooping in on that conversation.
On the behind what you missed behind the scenes episode.
So I don't know what I believe, but it's not addressed. He's not. I was surprised that there weren't like actual receipts and it wasn't talked about here in the reunion, because in the finale, Erica was like, well, get me some information.
Okay, well, but do you think that next day Lisa Rinna gets a phone call asking what's happened and that she didn't spill the beans to him? 100% she spilled the beans to her. She has no issue or problem with it.
She might not have leaked it, but she certainly
spilled it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Kathy accuses Rinna for stirring up all the drama just to remain relevant on the show. She treats everyone poorly and then she acts like the victim. Then she's the real bully.
You are the biggest bully in Hollywood, and everyone knows it.
Agreed.
Yeah. And Lisa's like, oh, yeah, really? Mm-hmm. She's just such a bully. Like, everything she says is so condescending, so nasty, and elitist. I do not like you.
And
right
then
now.
Garcelle asked the question that we've all been asking all season, towards the end of the season. If this is between Kathy and Kyle, why are you in it, Rinna?
Seriously.
Why are you stirring it up? Why are you making it worse?
Lisa's like, because I was abused. And everyone's like, abused. Like, okay, Crystal, like, is that really? And she's like, she yelled around me. And Andy's like, you yell around, there's seasons, endless seasons of you screaming, yelling, breaking glass in your hands.
Yeah, after all the things you've seen this season,
this is the most vile,
Kathy's
evil
meltdown
thing.
is the first time that you felt abused.
Even Annie's like, I don't buy this at all.
Right.
Nobody buys it, Lisa.
No.
Nobody buys it. And Lisa says she saw the devil. She saw a monster. She called Kathy Hilton a devil. So that's way worse than evil.
We got the C word.
Yeah. Listen, Lisa, you're just a huge hypocrite. It's so plainly obvious that you've got something and are blowing it out of proportion so you could stay on the season.
Right.
On the show. It's so obvious.
Well, I think it might work for her. Well, I don't know. Kathy Hilton has said in public that she will not return next season if Rinna, and I think Erica, don't quote me on the Erica, but definitely Rinna, if they were on the show.
You're quoted. Trust, you're quoted.
I know it was Rinna, but I think it might have been Erica also. I don't remember the other one.
This is where Kyle breaks
yeah,
loose. She
Kyle-
can't handle it.
Bless her heart.
She can't handle it.
She's been holding back tears the whole time since Kathy sat down.
Well, she's been stressed out the whole episode, the whole three-part episode, but now she's hyperventilating because it's here. And it's happening.
And she's in a tough position because she's like, I really want to make sure to address while I'm hurt and how I feel, but I also don't want to make this worse than what it is. So how can I tell you that I'm tired of being the scapegoat without you getting even more mad at me?
Yeah, and it even shows later that Kathy's like, you're just being the martyr. Like, why are you crying? Why are you being a martyr? And I don't understand it. But I feel bad for Kyle because I could see that she does get blamed for a lot of things. And Kathy obviously has these imagination and different worlds she's living in. So she's getting hurt and let down by things that are in her own imagination and her head when they don't happen. Like, oh, I don't want a birthday party, but hopes that they do give her a birthday party kind of mentality.
Right. Well, I do want everything for my birthday. So if you think, does Corey want it? The answer is yes. Does he want a party? Yes. Does he want a cake? Yes. Does he want lots of presents? Yes.
Peanut butter.
Yes.
Reese's.
Yes.
Starbucks card.
Yes.
Clothes for Hunter.
Sure.
Okay. Awesome things. Reviews for our podcast.
Oh yeah, let's hold to that thought. We still got a little bit more to talk to.
Yeah.
I do. When Dory jumped in to try to translate for Kathy, Kyle was like, listen, I love you, but you need to stay out of this conversation right now.
Yeah, get back.
I thought in the middle of Kyle's,
breakdown
frantic,
and emotional.
I thought she handled it pretty well.
It was perfect.
She wasn't mean.
I love you. I don't mean anything, but you need to stop. I can't do this right now. You need to stay out.
And then,
excuse me.
And then it just doesn't get resolved, but they just hug it out.
And it's an uncomfortable, and you could tell it's not resolved.
No, I mean, we find out in the scenes at the end that they don't see each other again until BravoCon. That's so much later.
Yeah.
So much later. So, but at least they hug it out. But Kyle knows that that's not.
It's not over.
Kyle feels like it was a goodbye hug.
Well, because also while they're all standing up and stuff, Kathy's already pissed off at her because you said two things. You didn't say anything. You didn't defend me. Kathy just feels like she deserves more of a fight from her sister.
Yeah. Well, Kyle just doesn't want to fight.
Kyle's like, just shut up, everybody.
And she doesn't want to stick around for the toast. Mm-mm. She is falling apart. And she's like, Andy, can I just leave? And Andy's like, hey, what do you want to do? We're just going to go ahead and get started. Like,
He's like, no, we're going to do this quick, and I'm going to drag it out.
Yeah. So, and then he's like, so do you think you and Kathy will work it out? Like, not only don't let her leave, but ask her another
question about it. But then he goes right into asking questions about Lisa and losing her mom.
Right.
Blah, blah, blah.
Rena grieved on camera. Erica's good now.
Erica got tough love from everyone.
Dorit's silver lining is her wonderful kids, which I think her kids are adorable. I love them also. Where is Crystal in this group now?
With this group of friendships. Didn't you say
Some are stronger.
Did you say you found out why those 14 friends did ditch her?
I think it was because many of them had applied for the show, and Crystal told them that she wasn't and told them not to.
But then she
did get on the show.
Okay.
I think that's the story.
Okay.
Sutton never knows where she stands with her friendships, but she is really into forgiveness.
It is important to forgive, to be honest, for your own movement and health.
I love that Garcelle's goal after the beach house is to have more fun.
Yes, ma'am.
First season Garcelle, I thought she was way too serious. I wasn't a big, huge fan. She never made me smile or laugh. Mm-hmm. This season, she did more, way more. So if her goal is to have even more fun, I can't wait to see that.
Because she's already the person that I would love to sit and talk with, because she's very inquisitive on your life and ask questions.
She's so smart.
And she's so smart. But now if she's really fun, too, on top of that, that's my girl.
And I'm sure I would get lost in how beautiful she is.
I bet she's just stunning in person. Like, oof.
Kyle begrudgingly joins them for a toast, but without the cocktail.
With her fist. Why even stand up?
But, why not even have the cocktail? Maybe it'll make you feel better.
I didn't understand the toast thing. I thought she wasn't even going to get up to even do anything.
Neither.
Andy gives her a good hug, blah, blah, blah. He's like, I am the cause of this show and the reason why you and Kathy are on it and now on this fight. But love you.
Love ya. Have a good month off.
Have a good night.
I mean, and then they start filming again. Salt Lake City's already filming again.
I know. I went to your choir practice yesterday to hopefully see Heather there, but she was filming that night. Of course.
Of course.
Never going back again.
Well, 5 minutes after the reunion's over, Kyle's still backstage crying.
This poor girl, it's those tears that just won't stop running down your face.
And Dorit equally tries to comfort her and give her a little bit of tough love. Mm-hmm. Like, listen, you're just going to have to accept that this is not on you.
Yeah. Stop taking so much hurt from it. It's not even about you, to be honest with you. It's more about Kathy's inability to cope, I guess.
And then it closes letting us all know that they didn't see each other again until
BravoCon. Which we were not at BravoCon either. Rude.
Well, they were at BravoCon.
But we were not.
We were not.
Which is rude.
Well, I guess we got to save our pennies and go.
Holy cow. I love it that that's what you wrote at the end of your thing. Next thing, holy guacamole.
Holy Toledo.
You're such a dad. I love it. You do dad things all the time.
Oh, well, Well, see us do dad things on our social media.
Your social media is disastrous.
Or see me do dad things on our social media.
I'm not a dad yet, even though I've got some good silver coming in, which is very rude.
You can find us on Facebook and Instagram at The Real Housebears. On Twitter, we are Real Housebears. And you can email us at therealhousebears@gmail.com.
Y'all, you can watch us now. Our entire podcast, you could watch both of our lovely faces. You can watch us on Spotify. And you could also watch us on YouTube at The Real Housebears. It is no longer at The Real Housebears Podcast. We're just making it simple so you don't hurt your fingers in your carpal tunnel, so you don't have to write out podcasts anymore.
Carpal tunnel.
That's that risk thing,
So
right?
this is our final Beverly Hills episode.
Yeah, so everyone, can you please leave reviews on Apple Podcasts so we could get super famous and really get some big stars in here again?
Please, 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 please.
And stick with us for Salt Lake City. You're going to have real behind the scenes.
Okay, listen, we have found out that a lot of our listeners only listen to one of do not even watch Salt Lake City Housewives right now. So I would really, really suggest that that's the one that we started off with a podcast. We've become really good friends with a lot of the girls. But also, the seasons are really, really, really good. To be honest with you, they're really good. Just please give them a chance.
And come see me on Bravo.
Yeah, Corey's going to be on the next episode. Or Papa the Bear is going to be on the next episode.
Yeah.
I used your Christian name.
Oh, no. Thank God you didn't use my Mormon name.
I'm not supposed to know it.
All right. See y'all next week. Or I'll see you this weekend.
Yeah. See you. Yeah, we're going to be on another episode. We're going to, oh, shit.
Oh
Come
my
on. We're
God,
going to be on this
goodbye.
episode. Ow, spook.
Turn it off.
Spooky.
Turn it off.
Boo. Okay.
Okay, love you. Bye.
But this is the sound check. Ooh, it's scary in here.
They killed me.
Oh, no.
Ooh, keeping that inside killed me.
Oh, no. You cannot do this.
Get out of my house.
And by house, you mean your body.
Yes.